Hello, I'm the PC Expert Amateur, and a shout out to Jay's 2 Cents and Physics Girl, who are both currently sick with completely different, unrelated things. Hope you guys get well soon. Also, shout out to Bleeping Computer, my text home, my text home for data that I pre-released there. And also, it's a great place to learn about security, malware removal, and stuff like that. Get help. Please visit also if you want to learn more about cybersecurity in a more general way that's entertaining. Go to darknetdiaries.com, or you can find them also on Apple and YouTube. All right, so we're looking at the Corsair SP120 PWM, but this is not the RGB Elite. This is an older one. It's called the Quiet Edition from the Air series. And it includes colored rings with which to decorate the fan. You have a choice of 3: red, blue, and white. Whichever one you want, it's up to you. They're interchangeable very easily. Now, on some pictures, you will see them using a flathead screwdriver to remove it and put in. So I tried it by just yanking it off, and it comes off. Although you do want to be somewhat careful, especially as these get older, because eventually they can potentially get old enough where they're brittle and will break. So do keep that in mind if you choose to have this kind of a thing. So that's what it looks like. I'm sorry, I forgot to show you the all-important box, which unfortunately when it was sent to me, the front cover was cut off, so you don't get to see that. I apologize for the horrible human being who did that to my fan box. But yeah, so here it is with the red. And as you can see, it's got gray, and this is silicone, and this lines the holes for the screws. So this means that in actuality, this is going to do a better job of reducing vibrations from your fan to your case than, say, a regular corner cushion, because it's fully insulating it. Now, I'll show you the other colors and also how to add them in. So I'm going to try to do this. If you look carefully, you can see that there are tabs here, 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 and of course at the bottom. And in every corner, there's a slot for those tabs. So take one of the slots or the tabs, line them up, then get another one lined up and another one lined up, and then look at them closely to make sure they're all sitting properly inside of the slots, because you don't want the blades hitting the ring. Make sure to carefully, without damaging the blades, push them all, and they don't quite fit perfectly. So, but if you eyeball it and you see that there's an air gap between the blades and the ring, you should be good. And that's what it looks like with white. And now I'll just pull this. Why is this one more difficult? The red one and blue one were easy. Okay, there we go. So now I'll show you the blue, which is what it came with as the default selection. The other two were hidden in the box underneath a false bottom. Ooh. Very espionage-ish. The CIA must love these. And that's what it looks like with blue. All right, so now that you've seen that, this is a fan that is suitable for a case. It is also going to be good for an air cooler. I would not use it on a radiator, however. It just doesn't have enough pressure to push the air through. Even if it's a low-density radiator, it probably is not going to be good enough. And the sad truth of it is there are some companies out there, I should say, that sell AIOs with fans that are that weak. Well, maybe not as weak as this, but that are substandard in terms of their static pressure, which is going to result in poor cooling for you, so you would be required then to replace them. But I'm not going to name any names because I'd have to do enough research to make sure I am not talking out of my, you know, that thing where the, sun don't shine. Well, no, it doesn't shine on mine because I don't tan. Yeah. Enough of that weirdness. God, that was awkward. Let's go ahead and take a look, or take a listen, I should say, to this fan. It's not supposed to be that noisy. In theory, it's about as noisy as the Noctua NFA 12x25. But let's find out. Okay, so the starting voltage, probably about 5, I would say, and it will not go below that starting voltage, unlike some other fans. But at this point, there's a little bit of noise from the bearing, a little bit of ticking, but aside from that, it's very quiet. Oh, that ticking is getting louder. But yeah, at this point, all I'm hearing is the ticking. Now I can start to hear a very low hum from the fan. It's going up in pitch. Oh, it is a hum. Interesting. And that ticking is getting louder. There's a resonance. There's another resonance. It's not going away. Okay, maybe that's not a resonance. It's very quiet, but I can hear this weird kind of resonance kind of noise, plus the low hum. And the ticking has kind of merged into one continuous noise, so it's not as noticeable as it was before. Let's add in the A12x25. This is not noisy though. I can always hear that Noctua high tone or high pitch note that comes out of it early on. Yeah, well, considering the fact that the Noctua goes up to 2,000 and this one doesn't, and hits this one hits about 1,500, I'm not surprised that the Noctua is louder. I think that if this were to actually spin up to 2,000, it would be louder than the Noctua. But the Noctua is basically drowning it out. Not a stellar bearing. But then again, Noctua seems to have, so far, out of all the fans I've looked at, it seems to be by far the best bearing out there. It's just kind of crazy that nobody else has been able to, to my knowledge anyways. If you happen to know of a better bearing, I would love to know about that bearing. But to my knowledge, there's not a better bearing out there. So, really good. If you can do me a favor and please like, subscribe, and share, help me build this channel up so that I can do a better job and help customers, consumers, I should say, because you're not my customers. I don't have any merch. I don't even know whether people would be interested in it at this point or at a later point. I suppose if there were a lot of people interested in merchandise at some point in the future, I would sell it. But at this point, I really don't see the reason to do that. But hey, if 100 people said to me, "Hey, we'd like to buy," then I'd probably look into getting something. At the very least, a sticker with my logo, which is thanks to my best friend in Indonesia, Yudi. Um, yeah, so good fan. Not an amazing fan, but a good fan. I would actually hazard to say that this is a better fan than the current SP 120 RGB Elite. But I'm kind of stretching a little bit there on that statement. It's more of a displeasure with the SP 120 RGB Elite because they just didn't put enough into it. They think they just decided, well, let's make a flashy, cheap fan we can put into cases, and then tell people you should replace them because there's something better out there, which is true. It's all true. All right, so please like, subscribe, and share, and let's take a look at the data now. Okay, so the Corsair SP120 Quiet Edition from the Air series. It has the identifier CO-9050012-WW. Really kind of weird. And then on the fan itself, it also has 48-007918 Rev AA. Okay. And again, this one's got gray corner rubber to help eliminate a lot of the vibrations. It also has 3 choices of circular trim: red, white, or blue. Because, let's be patriotic, or at least let's be Frenchly patriotic. The blades are black, and there is mild texturing on the blades and fan. It was an $18 fan. I don't know how much it costs now. It's got certifications from CE and FCC, made in China, 120 by 25 millimeters. I don't know what the lifespan is, but the Noctua's is at least 150,000 hours. 2-year warranty versus the Noctua's 6. 160 grams versus the Noctua's 200. 7 blades versus 9. Standard mounting distance. Maximum RPMs of 1450, whereas the Noctua ranges from 450 to 2000. Okay, 1450 for the Corsair. Sorry, I had a brain fart. Apparently, it happens a lot these days as I get older. The airflow is 37.85 cubic feet per minute, and the static pressure is 1.29 millimeters of water. And the net maximum noise is 23 decibels, which is pretty low. If you think about it, the fan has a 32 centimeter long cable, no daisy chaining, no, it's not sleeved. It's a PWM connector with a hydraulic bearing, 12 volts, ranging from 7 to 12 volts. So I was wrong, it's not 5, it's 7. And 1.08 watts is, I guess, the rating. I'm not really quite sure. The information is a little bit confusing on this fan. So when I looked at this, I couldn't find much on the box other than it said power usage of 0.25. But then on the website where I found information about it, which is AVA Direct, it says 0.08 for the power draw, but then on the fan it says 0.09. So not really sure what is going on there, but I'm guessing that 0.09 is the rated currency and 0.08 is the minimum and 0.25 is the safety currency, or the max, absolute max. So not really sure though, because it wasn't clear. And then it does have indicators of rotation of flow. It moves in a clockwise direction. It has 4 cushions, hole cushions and 4 screws. And aside from the trim, that's all there is. So, yeah. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Please like, subscribe, and share.